Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. Obviously, this week is absolutely crazy for Call of Duty because we have the major MW3 reveals going on. We've got COD next up first, then we also have the MW3 multiplayer beta happening this weekend as well. And the craziness is kicking off early. Of course, earlier on today, we got a full reveal for the aftermarket parts system within the MW3 Gunsmith. If you haven't caught that video already, feel free to go ahead and do so. But in addition to that, we also got even more details for how some of the things, including some aftermarket parts features, some bonus features that weren't initially discussed, are going to work in multiplayer. Some really cool changes and some other interesting ones as well. We also got a new announcement for some breaking news as of tomorrow. So as we get into all the details, if you enjoy the video, do me a favor, drop a like on it, would be really appreciated. And if you're new here, you want to guarantee you are up to date with absolutely everything going on in COD this week, especially obviously with all the next reveals, all the gameplay updates, anything you need to know will be covered here on a daily basis. So be sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on those post notifications. But just this afternoon, Call of Duty posted this, saying, "We have a little surprise before Call of Duty Next. The world premiere of Modern Warfare 3 multiplayer is going to release tomorrow, October 3rd at 7 a.m. Pacific." And they actually link to a YouTube video that's going to premiere at 7 a.m. Pacific time. You can see on the thumbnail, we've got Ghost, we've got, I believe, Rust in the background here. This is going to be the full-on multiplayer trailer, probably 2 to 4 minutes long in length. It's going to show us the actual multiplayer maps, a ton of actual gameplay here with weapons, with how the movement is going to work, create a class, the perks, everything. This is going to give us a lot of information. And of course, you guys know as this drops, I'm going to have a video out on the channel immediately breaking down everything you need to know about this. But we have it confirmed now, before COD Next, we are going to see a full-on reveal for MW3 multiplayer. But as mentioned, we also got some additional details on the Modern Warfare 3 Gunsmith, a little bit more on the aftermarket parts, expanding on what we actually talked about in today's first video, but then some other interesting details as well. So for whatever reason, they posted this blog a little bit after the video went out, so hence why we didn't cover it initially. Also, there was a lot to dissect with that first video as is, but this is basically a quick recap here at the top of the intel drops for aftermarket parts as we discussed earlier. But then we get new information on how some of this is going to work. So they say Gunsmith functions much the same way as it does in MW2. Players will still gain weapon XP to unlock attachments for a specific weapon and its associated platforms. So there will be certain attachments that are shared between platforms, some of the optics, stocks, barrels, muzzles, things like that, depending on that specific weapon platform. There will also, however, be universal attachments. In addition to gaining alternative progression routes at launch, you can choose from familiar attachment options like the barrel, muzzle, magazine, optic, laser, rear grip, and more to create the optimal weapon. Standard stuff there, very similar to how it's going to be in MW2 and probably all Call of Duties moving forward because of the COD HQ thing they're kind of going for there. They also say this though, this is brand new intel. For certain weapons that reach max level, so just certain weapons, not every weapon is going to have this available, but certain ones will, players will be able to transform their design using aftermarket parts. So, much like how in Modern Warfare 2 right now, when you max out a weapon, you get the ability to tune attachments. Well, in MW3, there is going to be weapon attachment tuning for what it's worth. The icon has been spotted in game. If you follow me over on Twitter, you might have already seen that, but tuning, unfortunately, is back for attachments in Modern Warfare 3 multiplayer. But when you reach max level, instead of only tuning being applicable, then some weapons will give you the ability to get aftermarket parts by giving you a brand new challenge. And we'll talk more on those here in just a bit. At launch, MW3 will feature several sets of aftermarket parts, which take form of the conversion kits. To access these, you need to complete an in-game challenge once you actually max out your gun. So new weapon, new attachments. Pay attention to and cycle through your weapons attachment selection when equipping conversion kits. New aftermarket parts might become available, so if you put on a conversion kit, it might give you an additional stock or an additional grip, but it also might lock a laser or a muzzle or something like that, similar to how like we have the X13 auto conversion kit in the game right now. But there's 3 examples they give us now on how unlocking aftermarket parts is going to work in game. The first one is for the Peliamat LMG. I still can't say it. It's a PKP or a PKM. For this one, after you max out this LMG, max rank, you're going to need to get 25 kills while hip firing or while using the new tac stance animations. So after you do that and you reach max rank, you'll be able to unlock the aftermarket parts and the conversion for the LMG. You can then transform it into the Jack Annihilator, which is basically a bullpup kit for this LMG. The second weapon we have is the Renetti handgun with a full auto carbine that we saw in the video obviously earlier. So once you max out the Renetti handgun, you have to get 30 kills with 5 attachments equipped, and then you'll unlock the Jack Ferocity carbine kit, which is like an SMG pistol hybrid in a sense, using 3D parts, which looks really, really cool. The third one is the Wasp Swarm with the Akimbo Brace stocks, and also for what it's worth, you can see the tuning icon there, so that confirms tuning is back. The Uzi can have a 100 round mag in this game. It was shown in the trailer. That's gonna be kind of insane and hilarious, and I feel like it's gonna be really abused. But regardless, if you max out the Swarm, you then have the challenge to unlock the actual kit here for Akimbo, the conversion kit, the aftermarket parts, via a weekly challenge in the preseason. This is the only one that I'm not necessarily fully on board with. Is this something that we have to wait for it to happen in the preseason? So keep in mind that's between launch and season 1 in December, so that's when we'll gain access to this. But say it happens in week 2 of launch. No one can get it until week 2, but then in week 3, is the challenge going to change and then this isn't available? Or does week 2 hit and that challenge unlocks, so then it's permanently unlocked and available for everyone? That's my question there, and that's something that I'm not super on board with, but we'll have to wait and see how exactly that plays out. I am a little concerned about that though, but regardless, that's how you get the Akimbo on the Uzi here, on the Swarm basically, and then you get this, which is going to go absolutely crazy. They also give us these details here, which is very important. The new Gunsmith is bringing additional innovations to the weapon system. These include more shared attachments and the removal of certain penalties, and I like this a lot. This is all good news in my opinion. For new MW3 weapons, so this is just MW3, not MW2, attachments such as grips, barrels, magazines, and stocks will no longer require players to use a specific weapon after they've already been unlocked for another one. That is great news. That was something very tedious about MW2 weapon leveling. Let's say you really want this good, muzzle or this good optic for all your guns, but it is only unlockable through using a really trash shotgun or a bad pistol or whatever the case may be. You have to go out of your way to use a weapon you don't want to use just to get an attachment for your other guns. It was tedious and kind of obnoxious. For example, the assault stock attachment is available on the AMR9 SMG, a new confirmed SMG for level 8, and the Riveter shotgun at level 12. If your AMR9 has already progressed to level 8 though before you start using the Riveter shotgun, then that stock is going to be available right away. So you don't have to get to level 12 on the Riveter. That attachment will just be ready and set and available the second you go to level it up. So expanding that beyond weapon platforms is really, really cool. I think that is phenomenal news for sure. This I also really like. As opposed to their counterparts in Modern Warfare 2, new 1x zoom optic attachments will no longer penalize your operator's ADS speeds, allowing faster target acquisition when using these sights. Now that's just 1x zoom. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 high zoom optics are still going to be different and will have ADS penalties, but the basic 1x optics, which are largely like red dots and stuff, no longer going to penalize you. That is going to create a distinction between MW2 and MW3 guns, even more so than what there already will be with visual recoil, weapon sway, all the stuff there. We'll talk a bit more about that in a future video, hopefully later this week if they don't keep dropping breaking news like this, right? But this means that MW3 guns are going to have that advantage. If you're using a lower zoom optic, you're going to have faster ADS stats, even if you build them out the exact same than an MW2 gun, because of the penalties associated with the MW2 attachments there. So that's positive news for MW3 weapons for sure. I'm definitely glad that they've detailed this. So a lot of bonus details here, some interesting systems, and of course with the MP trailer we might get even more details on this and see this stuff in action. And with next and with the beta we're gonna have hands-on, and I've got so many details, so much information coming. As soon as things are revealed, you guys know we're gonna have videos on videos on videos. So be sure to hit that subscribe button, turn on those post notifications to stay up to date with everything going on. And if you enjoyed this video, do me a favor, drop a like on it as well. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in. And until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day. I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.